everybody? Welcome to Bay Area Nerf Sanctimonious Saber Soliloquy, specifically for starters.
What up, Internet? Oh my gosh, all right, well, so we're kicking off. If you saw the last video, then you care. If you didn't see the last video, then welcome aboard. We're doing some starter saber videos for buying and the different sort of price ranges that these are going to fall into, right? So if you're looking at purchasing saber for the first time, hopefully these videos will be helpful, sort of tell you a little bit of the difference and what you can get, what for bang for your buck, and right?
Bang for your buck, and during it, so the format's going to look a little bit something like this. We have three categories. We have $0, which we find in the garbage, but I haven't found a saber in the garbage yet, to $200.
I got close. Hold on. We aren't actually covering these because I found some at Sabers for like $3.
Zero. These are in the custom saber hobby you would order from multiple websites we'll go over along the way.
Yes.
0 to 200. Then we have our 200 to 400 category, which we're going to call our intermediate tier.
Yep.
And then we're going to do 400 and up, which is our, which is a higher tier, and more of it has to do with feature sets than the actual look of it. But we'll have some uniquely fun things along the way, some things you can't even buy anymore.
Yes.
So, without further, and then the other way this will go is we have a bunch of sabers laid out on the table, which you can kind of see some of, and that is on purpose.
Yep.
Whatever saber is being talked about at the time, we will highlight it on this little stand. If you notice, there's a little short lightsaber blade here. This is a cut down from a thin-walled blade, I believe, from Saber. I'm almost 99% sure from Saber Forge.
I'm pretty sure it's Saber Forge.
And so we're just doing it to do highlights of the colors that we have.
Yes. This will not be a review of, like, do not take this as any indication of necessarily the brightness,
or
because
how even it's lit.
We're talking about, full-length blades, and
things like a foot.
different blades will give you different results.
Right.
That's a whole different video.
Set of videos.
Whole different video.
Okay, so and then we'll go over companies, and what we'll do is we'll pause along the way. This is if you've never watched one of our videos, we are fairly freeform and free balling for all in. And that's just kind of how we get down. So hopefully you'll find this informative, and it doesn't matter because we're going to have a good ass time doing it.
That's right.
All right. So without further ado, we are going to start off with the Saber Forge Bastion.
This is the Bastion.
This
is a Bastion, I should say, but
This is Saber Forge's Warrior tier. Josh, want to explain what the Warrior tier is?
All right. Warrior tier. Okay, good?
Got it.
All right. Actually, I can show you what Warrior tier is, because there is nothing in this saber.
Yep.
This is an empty hilt.
They do sell it with a pommel, though. I just unscrewed.
Yeah, we have that unscrewed. So there's no electronics. These are not real buttons. You have to, drill them out and do your own thing with them. Multiple companies sell sabers like this. Saber Forge and Ultra Sabers are the two big ones that you're going to be able to find. Just buy blanks. If you want to add your own electronics, it's certainly a cheap way for beginners to get started. You just got to do a little bit of research and know what you're doing. Unlike us.
The term you'll hear most from these are called stunt sabers.
So the rest of these would be stunt sabers. This is just an empty.
Not the rest.
Okay. Most of the rest of these are stunt sabers. The difference, if you hear stunt saber usually refers to a saber that does not have electronics. So it is just essentially a colored flashlight with a tube at the end.
No sound card, no nothing.
Right.
And the reason people use stunt sabers, they're entry level, they're cheaper.
They're very cheap.
Some people want to duel with them on video and add in post sound effects. So they're good for that, but mainly because they're cheaper.
Also, battery life tends to be a little bit better because there's no sound being used.
Right.
So all it does is power the flashlight, and that's it.
And if you're only into photos, the sound doesn't do anything for you anyway.
Right. So I mean, it's a really good entry level. A lot of people will start out with these, and a lot of places, if you're trying to get a lot of people into it, to do like a dueling sort of stuff, a lot of these are good call.
Quickly, before anybody says anything, this Bastion actually I got as a gift with purchase.
Right.
It was in their black weathered format, which you'll see later in a different video.
Correct.
I took the anodization off with oven cleaner, which you strip all of it off, and then I repolished it, and I'm working on it. So this is just so everyone's clear what happened to this.
Yeah, so I mean, one of the things we talk about when we say starter sabers, like it's starting so you can do other stuff. You can wrap this. You can do etching to it, a whole lot of different things. And a lot of these starter sabers are a good way for you to, if you want to try doing that, practice without buying a $300, $400+ saber and then realize, oh, I totally suck at like etching or doing whatever you want to do to this saber. You know, we can perfect your skills on some of these.
And some people carry these empties on their side with a cover tech wheel, which is a way to clip it on, or a belt clip. And that's just how they rock them.
Yeah, that's part of their costume. They know that they're never going to have a full saber, or they'll just add it in post.
Right. Yep.
You know, but they want that good belt hanger for a convention. Totally legit.
Right.
Totally legit.
Okay.
So that's the cheapest option that you're going to find for looking at, you know, actual sabers.
Yep.
Like, again, we're not talking about toys. You can find those probably at Sabers, Goodwill.
Yeah, toys are
cheap.
Toys are out.
Like
So we'll get to Master Replicas would technically fall in this video. I think we have one, but we'll get to them in a minute.
Yeah, they would fall in this video.
$200.
Yeah, they're like $200. The Master Replica stuff.
We're gonna do Master Replicas in a different video, and you'll see why when we do it.
Yes, the Master Replica stuff. I'll just say this: like, if you just want them because you want a lightsaber to put on a shelf, by all means, in this category, like, you buy your Master Replicas if you want something that's super screen accurate, and all it's gonna do is sit on yourself, and you're never gonna use it.
Yeah.
But most people that I think are gonna be into this aren't going to want to do that.
So next up we have...
So next up, this is the Aeon LEV2 from Ultra Sabers. This was actually purchased as this is the first saber that I owned. Actually, this is a stunt saber. I added this wrap. This is just a bicycle tube. If you watch the Nerf videos, you know what this is. It's just a bicycle tube that I put on here because I wanted some extra rubbery grip. It's actually just looks the same as this anodization all the way down in little grooves, but it's red. Ooh, so glowy.
Look at that.
Look at that.
If we didn't cut down that blade, you'd have never known what color it was.
That's correct. So this comes in at $55. Because we ordered 5 or more on a deal.
What are they called?
Of grab bag sabers.
Yes!
Yes.
His memory is not going, folks. This was like almost right after we went to the... In our previous video, we talked to you about our origin story into lightsabers.
Yes.
So go watch that with the channel update that will be posted right before this video comes out.
Correct.
And you'll learn that we went to a thing and a lot of things happened and we got saber envy. So this is what we first purchased.
This is what we first purchased. Is, you know, a lot of people I think come in on this because $55. Yep. You know, you don't choose the color.
You can.
You can. It costs a little bit more.
$10.
So if we did it, we're not going to choose the color. You don't get to choose what the saber looks like. They send you a random saber. That's why it's called a grab bag, right?
At the time, they were. I don't know if they were having a special. I don't remember the price.
I think they were 65, but if you ordered 5 or more,
it was like $50 or something.
It was 55 each.
Yeah,
thereabouts.
And we got a group of people.
That we talked into doing it because that's how all of our hobbies get started.
Yep.
We just talked people into this is really cool. We're gonna get into it.
Actually, this one started differently for once, but
it did. But I'm just saying,
all my wife's fault.
Yes.
Which means she can never yell at me for owning lightsabers because she got me into this hobby.
She
did. Okay, so and just overall thoughts since you've owned this, Josh, and this is your saber. What are overall thoughts on it?
All right. Overall thoughts are: if you don't want sound and you don't really super care about how your saber looks, this is an okay option.
What about this particular model?
This particular model I actually enjoy.
There you go.
I got lucky. I don't like the button being raised, but hey. that's what you get for $55. I think it was an excellent entry-level saber, and if you want it for dueling purposes, this is a great way to start out, just because if you get something that's really nice, because it's a grab bag, you get nicer stuff than this. It's a pretty plain.
You could. That's
if you get the nicer stuff, you could always sell it and then get the one that you want.
And this is grab bags back in the day.
Yes.
There's new styles of grab bags that do out now that these companies do.
Yes, now you can get like grab bags with sound specifically.
Or you can get a grab bag that doesn't supposed to have sound, but you might get one with sound.
Right, you can do all sorts of stuff. Back then, there was just grab bag.
Yeah, they were the only ones doing grab bags 2 years ago.
Yes, Ultra Sabers, you could get it. There was no sound, and then you could choose for $10 more to have them install whatever.
For the record, when we got these, we were really happy.
We were really happy.
We were super.
I mean,
we were pretty happy.
Yeah, this thing was awesome.
We were pretty happy. It was exciting.
Yeah. That's not even a...
All right, let's move on to the next one. And while we're doing this, we'll add a little bit of color about each saber's model if we own it.
We're not doing these in any sort of order.
In-depth. We are doing it in order.
No, not in order of like how we purchase them, but in order of sort of how price. Yep. This one happened to be $75, but you can get them for cheaper.
I messed that up.
Well, you can get these for cheaper though. The empty hilts you can get cheaper than $75.
I think they are $75. The Warrior tier.
Yes, at Saberforge, but Ultra Sabers has some that might be cheaper.
Yeah, I should have did the Ultra Sabers first. That was my.
But we didn't have an empty Ultra Sabers. Like you could probably get this empty for 55, 40 something.
All
right, next one is off to the side
by the way, just to break the video, This is the new Bay Area Nerf video style. So when we're on a roll, we don't fact check. Just remember that, people.
This guy's off to the side because the blade is not removable on this one. But it is a pretty solid option, and that is the Hitoren V3 string blade. Now, there's a very specific difference between a string blade and a regular blade, and this... Alright, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Alright, so these are like flashlights, right? If I don't have a blade in here, just look at that, right? The string blade, instead of the LED being at the bottom here, is throughout the blade there's a string of LEDs, hence the term string blade, right?
This is how this is the build style of the Force Effects Black Series sabers, and some of the cheap ones too.
Yes, where the blade is non-removable.
Fixed.
It is a fixed blade, so this does not come out. Now the nice thing about this is what, $75? $75.
$75.
So Hitoren does a couple of different things. They have a string blade. They have a...
Well, so the company, so there's two companies.
Yes.
This you can order from the Potch store.
Correct.
PACH.
Yes.
There's another company that sells a similar lightsaber called Wonder Force Sabers. We'll get to in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And these sabers are made, I think the suppliers are all the similar places. It's just these are different distributors. But the one that sells the V3 with string is only right out of the Potch store, to my knowledge.
Yes.
But yeah, we're rolling
their string isn't... I don't know if I would super recommend their string. Because...
Yours is red.
Mine is red.
I like my green one.
It's not because it's red. It's because of the way... Here, let's turn this thing on. Now, the one nice thing, you might have noticed, it's got sound already. We're talking $75 with sound. That's a pretty nice upgrade.
Lowest probably option on the market.
Yeah, if you want sound on a budget, this is going to be your jam. Also, how do I... So you might... I don't know if the camera catches that, but...
Do it again.
It actually scrolls... Here, I'm trying to... Oh, there we go.
I think it does.
No, Alright, it's a little bit hard to catch, but because of the string, it actually scrolls up and scrolls down. Similar to like a real lightsaber, whereas, you know, the other one just turns on and it's on. I just don't think this is particularly bright. Even when the stuff's off, it's not... I don't know. I don't feel like the build quality on the blade is super great. I'm a little bit worried about it cracking. If you're going to try and tool or anything
I wouldn't say... Most people... So most string blades, most string blade setups should not be dueled with heavily.
Yes. Some people will tell you different. But I just...
And we'll get to a string blade in a different video that you can actually full contact with.
Right. These guys, but they're a great company. If you want something for cosplay...
great cosplay saber.
Great cosplay saber, especially if you want something with sound for cheap. I would still go with the in-hilt LED, which we have one in here. I'll show you. They make 3 models that still come in the entry-level cheapest
and they make multiple different styles of hilts. This is just their kind of basic hilt. And actually, this is... You could take this off.
Yeah, I
swap it out. You could swap this out for a different style of emitter.
Yes.
And they even have a couple pommel options now. So couple, not a lot, but a little. But listen, at $75, which is the price of the first which is the price of a Saber Forge stud saber. Which will be no, I'm sorry, not Saber Forge.
Hold on. This is the Saber Forge empty was $75, right?
So
full everything.
Just
throwing it out there.
Throw it out there.
I'm gonna put this down.
But it's good.
Yes. I mean, I like it. I would recommend their in-hilt LED, which is I think the same price, right? Or it might be a little bit more expensive.
It's a little bit more expensive.
I think it's a little bit. Which if you actually usually on the whole, the string blades are more expensive.
So it's weird.
So that's why I question a little bit of the build quality. But on the only reason I would recommend the in-hilt LED over the string blade is because you can swap the blades out for some that have a little bit better diffusion.
Yep.
Where's that one you can't?
Or day blades or
day blades, whatever you want.
Lots of options.
Get into. Okay.
Next up.
Sorry that took so long.
No, it's okay.
All right.
So next up is the Ultra Sabers Liberator.
Oh,
so this hilt was my stunt hilt from the initial grab bag when we bought lightsabers.
Yes.
It has since had some modifications made to it.
Oh, modifications.
So there's an Etsy store called Outer Rim Sabers, and they sell lightsabers, and they also sell DIY plug-and-play audio light kits.
Yes.
So I got one of their first kits. They've made multiple upgrades and models since then. So the light, I wanted a purple. Can't even tell it's any color, I don't think.
Probably not.
A little bit.
The light is really washing these out.
It is,
But
so trust me, it's like a pink.
We've got other reviews if you want to see stuff when we're talking about.
It's a red-blue mix. Pink does have sound, so you can hear the sound on it.
Yep.
It was green, now it's that mix, and it does flicker on clash, which is different than flash on clash.
Right.
Flicker on clash is two, like it's got a red and a blue making the purple.
Yep.
And one of them goes off.
It just turns off.
Yeah. Whereas flash is when you have another different color light and it pops in. It's Anyways, either way.
Yes.
It makes sense.
So these are all features, right, that start to become things that you pay for, right? Like flash on clash. Sound is like the big obvious one, but like flash on clash, flicker on clash, apps.
Which we'll get into later.
Clashing sound effects, different swing sounds, motion sensing. All those are different things that you start to pay more and more for, right? But for a entry level, I want kind of most of that stuff.
I can't recommend. So this particular Outer Rim Saber Guts, I was not overly impressed.
Yeah, but this is sort of our example of taking one of these and actually putting your own stuff in it. You can do it for on the cheap for what, $120?
$120. That's including the hilt.
Right, now you can't probably buy all of the parts at Saber Forge or Ultra Sabers or the Saber.
Saber Forge you can.
No. Hold on, let me finish my sentence.
Okay.
Or the Custom Saber Shop and do it for that cheap.
No, you're not.
You cannot.
No.
So I was just throwing that out there.
Sorry, yeah.
Don't get one of these, then order everything and be like, guys, that cost me like $300. Like, yes, we said you could do it for cheap. We did say you could do it there. You could get some kits like from Outer Rim.
Yeah, and they've upgraded their stuff. So my kit may not be indicative of their current.
Yes.
I don't go out of my way to. I won't probably in the entire series go out of my way to bash any of the companies. They all have their ups and downs and do contribute to the hobby in some way. So
yes,
but yeah, that kit with that, I would just spend more money on something else.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, we have a very interesting entry into our into our team.
All right.
So this is.
So it looks a little familiar, right?
Right.
It looks kind of similar to what we just showed you with a different emitter. All right.
This is the Hidoren V4 RGB edition. Josh, tell them what RGB is.
All right, RGB, red, green, blue. You've heard that before, right? Colors and how they mix, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, guess what? We got color mixing on this saber.
Right. So this comes from Wonder Force Sabers, which you can also get on the Potch store, but it also comes from Wonder Force Sabers.
Yep.
Coming in at the price of $159. Now, our prices do not include tax, because that varies by state.
Yep.
And does not include shipping, because that varies by location.
Correct.
So add on shipping and tax. These ship right from China or Taiwan. Cannot remember which.
I don't remember.
So the shipping to the U.S. is going to be more expensive.
Right. We're still getting a saber that has, again, features like RGB color mixing.
So.
For cheap.
Look at, I got it right for once.
Oh,
so
nice.
Double tap the button. You swap colors. It's got a bunch of cool presets on there. Oops, that was not good.
And again, sound.
And it's got, I believe you.
So you're still talking about. Oh, it's really.
I'm sucking with this thing.
He sucks.
So,
we're here.
It's got lock up. I believe, I'm not mistaken. Flash on clash. Like that. Okay. So. I'm going to turn it off. Okay. That is a fully tricked out functional saber that in another company's style of hilt is going to run you in the mid threes, probably cheapest option.
Yeah.
If you're not messing with one of these from this run of factory place like Potch, Wonder Force, and a couple of Spartan Saber, I think, is a place that does the same similar style hilts.
Yeah.
The emitter is changeable.
Yep.
So I have the emitter Josh showed you earlier
on
his string. I have this emitter, and I have a slanted emitter too. I can swap on. The speaker thing's a little different than the one I had before.
Oh, there you go.
Ooh, got it right there.
Very nice. Very nice.
Okay. So now, and the black you see in here, those are actual O-rings you buy from the hardware store.
Yeah, we just put them in there.
We inserted in there just to break up the silver.
Yeah. So once again, Hidoren is a really good choice for people who want something that isn't going to be used very heavily in dueling.
Yep.
But you want something cheap, maybe a cosplay blade. This is particularly nice because unlike the string blade or even the regular in-hilt LED, the RGB allows you to color change. So if you want to go as a Jedi one day and then a Sith the next, you don't have to have two different sabers, right? You just change the color from red to green, blue, yellow, whatever you want.
If you're super into the cosplay aspect of the hobby, I would highly, highly recommend this particular lightsaber.
Yes.
You could
excellent entry level.
You could probably paint it if you wanted to. You could wrap it.
Oh yeah.
You could do some work on it to make it your own. You could etch it, and you'll have every color you could need, whether you're a Sith Jedi, whatever you want to call the non-Sith or non-Jedi. I'm not gonna. It's this Jedi, not the skull, but the color of the hat. It's one of those guys, right, or gals. You can do all that if you want to mash up cosplay, be Red Lantern Sith. I don't know where I got that idea from.
What? That's brilliant.
Or Jedi Green Lanterns.
Right.
This
like
saber,
Harley Quinn with a lightsaber.
This saber for $160 before shipping will cover all of it.
What? I wasn't pointing anything.
It'll cover all of it.
Yes. Yeah. This is an excellent entry level saber.
I think when I got it, I was talking to him because we had already had Hammer before, and it's literally the same hilt as the middle tier one, which we're not going to show you, but basically just take $60 off the price. It's like $85.
Yeah.
Right? For one color. Also 3 sound fonts.
Right.
Which is important to note.
Correct.
Because the other ones have single sound fonts.
Yeah, so this will differ from our other videos in one way. I think this video we will discuss the use of your saber more. Because once you get into higher end stuff, you're buying it because you want a lightsaber that does all this stuff. Right? It doesn't matter if you want to you're buying something that's $500-$600 and you want looks and these other features. But this is like, if you want just a belt hanger, just get something empty. If you want to duel a lot, go ahead and get just a stunt saber that is really comfortable to you and like maybe nice and thin so you can do some stuff. And maybe longer because you might want that,
Right.
And then if you want to cosplay, maybe you want something that is more versatile.
Yep.
So this is where we talk about that.
Yeah, this isn't as an RGB. When you go RGB, and we'll say in the videos we cover it, you do sacrifice brightness.
Correct.
Because instead of if you have say a tri-cree, right, so 3 sources of light, and they're all different colors, that means they're not 3 of the same color, making it brighter.
Correct.
But I personally like RGB because I like having I'll trade brightness for options.
Yeah,
I love options.
It's true.
I just love having options.
Plus,
if we're going to go brightness, there are other ways to get brightness and other styles of blades that I would rather just spend the money and get those instead.
Correct.
So that's the
Hitoren V4.
Hitoren V4.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
It is wonderful.
Entry level.
Wonder Force makes a wonderful saber.
Yes.
Look at that.
Yeah.
All right, next up.
All right, so now we got the. This is a Saberforge Oracle Shoto.
And actually, the rest of our next 3 are Saberforge.
They are all Saberforges. Now you might notice this is a little bit tinier. So their Shoto line is really small, used for more of like
offhand.
An offhand like Tonto style saber. Yep. Or a lot of people that I've talked to in the community say this is what they get for their kids because it's small. They can handle it a little bit easier, and you just get this is a stunt. So it's just hold on. I don't think this even has batteries in it.
Oh
no, it does not.
I think it's charging off to the side.
It's charging right over there.
That's okay.
I mean,
we'll go through plenty of stunts.
Hold on, it just glows, right? Same as the red one. It just glows. Not super expensive.
$160.
$160, right? $60. I specifically remember it's $60 if it's an empty.
Good call.
Yeah, but it comes pre-wired. You don't have to do any of that. $160. So the $100 versus the $60 doesn't just include the light and the button, but also includes the labor. So you're not just like, hey, I'm paying for this, but you're paying for them to install it all for you.
And you got yours.
And mine has with a wrap.
And these were mystery sabers, which is Saberforge's version of a grab bag.
Yes. With their version of the grab bag, you had an option. They release it in runs of, I believe, 100 sabers.
I think it is 100.
And one in those 100 sabers is not just a regular stunt saber. It is a saber with sound.
Yep.
So you're kind of playing the lottery a little bit. You don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what colors. But you might get a saber with sound. And it costs you, what? What is their...
Oh, their stunt run. What do we pay for these? I think they're $75 mystery box.
I think they're $75 mystery box.
$75 mystery box.
So
that might be a little more than that.
Yeah. So, it was a come up. $160 value for a $75 grab bag.
It was either $75 or it was $100. I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
But either way, you can look it up.
But yes, I mean, go to their site.
Back to no fact checking.
Yeah, we ain't. So yeah, there's not much to say about this.
What do you think about the hilt, though?
So the hilt is interesting. If you've got big hands, I'm not going to recommend you get this hilt unless you really, really want like a little dagger. For me, it's a little bit small, and I got tiny hands.
I kind of dig it with the short blade.
With the short blade, I think it looks pretty cool. It's like a little shiv.
I kind of dig
a little saber shiv.
I kind of dig it, man.
No, it's cool. But if you're looking for a full-on lightsaber, you know, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. But they're great for what they are. Like I said, for kids, people with really tiny hands, or that you're like really short or whatever, or if you want an offhand, go for it. It's really nice. You can make some really dope little saber screamer sticks.
Yeah, because they actually sell saber. The Potch store sells saber nunchucks.
I have seen the saber nunchucks and Saberforge.
Wonderforge sells saber nunchucks.
And Saberforge sells a saber light whip, I believe.
Saberforge is a light whip, and Ultra Sabers does a tonfa.
They do a tonfa, and you know, a lot of people do staffs.
And also too,
and dual bladed sabers. There's like connectors and stuff like that.
I actually own a couple of those.
Yeah.
And then also too, just to keep it random. The Wonder Force does something called a Tiny Giant. It's actually a very similar sized, like Shoto sized, and it's really inexpensive.
Yeah,
I think they're $70.
Yeah, those things are. Yeah,
and the reviews on them so far, we don't own one, but the reviews on them have been really impressive.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but Saberforge,
Oracle
Shoto. There we go.
So they have a whole Shoto line of sabers, which are. Smaller versions of regular one, which is why this is an Oracle Shoto, because there's a full-size Oracle that's a little bit bigger, but it has a similar emitter and grip area and kind of everything else, but it's just enlarged, right? A little bit longer.
Cool.
All right.
On to the next highlight.
On to the next highlight, indeed.
So, all right, here we have the Saberforge Aeon, and now we had an Aeon earlier from Ultra Sabers, so there's some names being jacked. I don't know how that went about. But, you know, it's another stunt. The stunts come in at this stunt. This is the full, apprentice level stunt. There's a level higher than this called Elite. But this stunt comes in at $175. And I believe the Elites are $200, so that's at the top end of our review period.
And again, prices will vary generally based on the hilt that you want. So a lot of what you're paying for is the hilt. Like you can get a hilt that might be $60.
Yep.
And then it's $100 more to go into a warrior tier.
Yep.
Right, which is it's just a stunt saber. That's their version of a stunt saber. So whatever one you choose, the base price you then add on basically $100 for them to install a light for you.
And it's got that nice green. It's got cutout emitters.
Yeah. See
on the top portion. So
you can get some different greens too. You get a lime green. You can get a forest. I don't know what they're called. They have very specific names for them.
They do.
But you can get different versions of green and stuff like that. So you have to do a little bit of research. This isn't going to be the everything video. But we're just trying to give you the options that are out there.
125 for the grab bags.
125. You are correct at 125. As soon as you said that, I'm like, oh yeah, we were trying to
get... Mystery Saber, 125.
Yep.
Okay, so the last one is another stunt. This one's a little... This is the one I got as part of the Mystery Saber, or the Ultra Sabers, not Ultra Sabers. Woo! Saberforge. Get killed. Yep. Saberforge, grab bag thingy, or Mystery Saber thing they do. Mystery box. It's called Mystery Box Saber.
Mystery Box Saber, yes.
Mystery Box Saber. This is the Renegade. Now, all Saberforge stunts are running a quad Cree LED. What that, I'm pretty sure that means is, Josh.
Yes.
You tell them.
Quad Cree. So it should have 4 LEDs on the, 4 Cree LEDs on
Wait, LEDs?
LEDs.
You mean there are 4 lights?
Oh man, that's set up.
You love that,
That's set up. That was good. That was good. Yeah, all of these are quad Cree.
And all the same light.
As opposed to tri Cree, which is 3. Nope. Alright, now, so there's a couple of reasons we picked what we picked to highlight too. And I mean, you want to go with what makes this one a little bit different?
Yeah, so this one's actually got some pretty cool aesthetic features on it. So it's got the emitter right here that's kind of cut in, cut out, but it's also got a socket for you probably can see it. This part right here is a socket for the blade. So not all cutouts are run that way. So they're all a little different like that.
Right. Also, there's some that are that go inside of your blade.
Yes. Yeah.
We'll get to one of those in one of the later videos.
And then there's a nice knurling set up right here.
Right, which is a little bit different than...
And right down here.
This is like a thin knurling.
Yeah.
Up there.
Yep.
You're up there. There we go. See, this is like a really thick... I mean, they just have different features.
And I believe this is red.
No, one thing... I think that's red, too. One thing that we didn't mention is... woo, damn, that's a bright red, dude.
It is a bright red.
That is really nice.
Yeah, so I will say this. So the quad Cree, the theory is the tri-Crees and the quad Crees are close in brightness, which they actually are.
They are.
But you get diminishing returns as you add LEDs. Instead of getting a 50% more light, you go to like 20% and then 10%, and then, you know, diminishing returns. But it is still brighter from my understanding.
Yes.
Also, too, I have left, you'll notice that on none of our lightsabers, except this one, the cover tech wheel is still intact.
So the cover tech wheel is an option that I think both companies.
Everyone offers cover tech. Oh, no, well, most of the major manufacturers offer.
I was going to say, most everybody, this is, you can buy a, I don't even know what it's called, but a cover tech belt clip.
It's basically...
So you put it on your belt. It's basically an old cell phone
It's basically an old BlackBerry holder.
It is. So this has a little, I don't know if you can see that there. There's like a little tiny ring, and then it just kind of slides into it and clips into place. I hate them. I hate them with a passion.
I hate them too. We never carry our lightsabers.
They're unsightly and uncomfortable. But if I wanted a belt hanger, that would be something without a blade, and I'm just going to carry it on my belt. It is much nicer
than
a D-ring because those kind of flop all over the place. But they're more canonical. They know cover text that I've seen in no movies.
True.
But I hate the way that they look, and I hate when I'm holding on to it. It kind of just always bugs me.
Yep.
So there's that.
And I dig the look of it. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat.
Now, the one thing that I wanted to mention that we sort of didn't get into are the different power sources for these. So Saber Forge offers a lithium-ion, lithium-ion battery in all of their sabers.
Yes.
Even like their stunts. Which is a little bit larger. It requires a specialty charger, which they send you. A little bit larger battery. It's a different chemistry than like a AA.
Yep.
Or your normal rechargeable, but it is rechargeable. And you just unscrew the bottom, pop it out, take the battery out, put it in the charger, charge it up. Ultra Sabers. These guys run off of, or this one specifically runs off of 4 AAA batteries.
Yep.
So you know, your mileage may vary with how long these things last.
And then Wonder Force actually has in-hilt setup for charging. I'm not gonna be able to see it.
You're probably not gonna be able to see that.
It's right here. It's an in-hilt charger, and
hold on, let me see this. Bam!
There you go.
Right there.
There you go. Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
I wasn't reaching far enough.
Yeah.
In-hilt charger.
See that?
And what I dig about Wonder Force's in-hilt charging is that it's USB on the other end instead of like a 12 volt power source.
Yeah, no, that's one of the things that if you're building your own saber, you can choose, you know what I mean, what you want to put in.
Yeah.
And in-hilt recharging normally is something that's only offered on higher tier stuff. So in our next videos, you'll see a lot of those have in-hilt recharging. That's what generally on Saber Forge the second button is, because this doesn't do anything. It's usually an in-hilt recharge port. Some people will use it for color changing options and stuff like that on RGB. Depends on how you build it if you're building your own. Anyway.
I realized that our awesome background got cut out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Our signal was lost.
It's because the Apple TV turned off.
Oh, apologies. Anyway. Yeah, the power source for some people might be a big deal. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head how long the different power sources last, and it will depend on, like, this has a lithium-ion battery in it, but what's the milliamp hours on that lithium-ion battery versus, you know, the AAAs that you're using?
No, the less features, the longer your stuff lasts.
That's just the truth.
The dimmer your saber, the longer it'll last. The brighter your saber, the quicker it'll burn.
Yeah. But it's it's also something to think about in terms of, like, what you want to use it for and what you want to use. Yep. So if you have 4 AAAs, it's pretty easy for you to buy 4 extra AAAs and carry them with you at like a convention and be like, oh, my saber's dying, I better swap some new ones in. Where having lithium ion, you better have bought a second one and already pre-charged it and have it with you, which is going to cost you a little bit more than necessarily just buying.
I'm not done. Keep talking.
Okay.
I'm just pointing to my man.
But you might have to buy that in advance and sort of plan it, as opposed to, you know, just buying some quadruple A's or some four triple A's.
There are 4 triple A's.
Yes. Oh gosh.
Oh my god. Okay, so that's pretty. I mean, it's not comprehensive, but it's definitely a quick overview of entry level $0 to $200. Well, not 0, but up to $200 lightsabers.
Yeah.
I would say I will give you this caution: if you're only going to own one lightsaber, it not having sound will definitely grate on you.
Yeah, we thought it wouldn't be a big deal.
We did.
We really thought, like, we're mostly going to take pictures. Like, what do we need sound for? Yeah, it's not.
We were 100%.
I can't even fuck with the saber that don't have sound.
I can't. That shit is false.
Like, I've got this one because it was my first one, and there's still the potential that it could get gone within the next year.
And actually, you know what's funny? This actually wasn't my first saber.
I know.
My first metal saber.
It was not. I know.
It was my second metal saber.
Yeah.
Because I took a plunge a week earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's our introductory overview. Please, in the comments box below, tell us if you liked the style, if you didn't like it.
Hopefully you found something that was a little bit
Hopefully
helpful.
you found something useful.
If you have questions, also let us know, because we might have forgot something. We could try to answer it down there.
Yep, or if you have, stuff you want to throw in as knowledge for people reading the comments.
By all means.
Please do that.
Throw it down there. We're trying to help people out.
Please open and freeze.
Better than us, for their first time experience.
So, I'm Ferone.
I'm Josh.
May the force be with you.
Yeah, that one.
I mean,
I don't know. Happy dueling.
What else would we go with? Why would we not go with the force?
I don't know, because...
It's the freaking... What the hell, man? All right.
I don't know.
We got to do the research for the next set.
All right. We'll catch you guys after this.